Hey everybody, welcome back to Fish Den 365. I'm Den Haring, and today I'd like to show you what I found at the Philadelphia Fishing Expo. Okay, so I was at the Philly Fishing Sports Show yesterday, and I found some lures that I thought I'd share with you. I met a few people that watched the channel, and that was nice. I met Jake and John. Nice meeting you guys. I enjoyed talking with both of you, and happy and thankful that you watch the channel regularly. So I spent some money yesterday. I bought some, there's some good deals there, and there's some deals that, there's some things that I spent too much money on for what I bought, but I needed them, so I got them anyway. But I did find something that I think is extremely special, so stay tuned. I'm going to save that for the last thing I show you. You got to see this thing. I haven't been this excited about a lure since the Norman Top Dollar, and if you watch my channel, you know what that means. This lure I really like. I've tested it. We're going to show you what it looks like. I think it's going to be something special, and I'm looking forward to trying it out when the ice gets off the water. But let's show you what we got. We didn't get a whole lot, but we got some things that we needed. And the first thing, and this is what I paid probably more money than I should have for it. I think they were like $8 a pack or something like that. I needed them though. This is the Megabass Spark Shad. These things are really good. They catch a lot of fish, and I just started using them last year. And you could use a regular ball head jig. I like the dirty jig heads for them. Even if the guppy heads are the regular dirty jigs heads. The other one I really like to throw is the Tush, the ultimate Swimbait head. The ultimate Swimbait head, or I think is what the Tush stands for. Anyway, that is a jig that has the lead on the shank of the hook, not at the front. So there's no lead head. There's just a line tie, and then it's the shank. We'll show you a picture of it right here so you can see what we're talking about. And you can put that in these baits, and it gives them a nice action, a little bit of a different action, because it's more of a horizontal fall, and the bait just has a really good look in the water. It's a good bait to throw, and I believe I like to throw this when the fish are starting to get used to some of all the other swim baits, like the Kitech Swing Impact Fat, which is a great swim bait. This is just another alternative that sometimes will get you more bites. I got 5-inch and 4-inch, two 4-inches and a 5-inch. You can see everything I got is the same color, so I need it white because I ran out of it. I use that color a lot with this bait, and it does well for me. This is a bait that I've talked about before. It's the Ned Salamander by Savage Gear, and I've fished this and caught some nice fish on it at Wallenpaw Pack, and I don't have white, so I bought a pack of white. And I only bought one pack because this is that elastic stuff. You can stretch it. It'll last a long time. One bait will last for many, many fish. So you don't need to buy a ton of packs of this when you do buy it. And the price is right for these things too. Now the next two I want to show you, I did get good pricing for. I got some chatterbaits here. These are just the standard Z-Man chatterbait, but they work. They catch fish. And I think they were $4 a piece, or 3 for $10. So I got 3 for $10, and I thought that was a pretty good buy for the chatterbaits. It cost $12 to get into the Philly Sports Show, in case you're wondering. It costs you $12 to get in there, but there's a lot of things to see in there. And I like fishing these chatterbaits, so I'm stocked up on chatterbaits now. Then I found something that I did not know anything about, and it's a Shimano popper. It's called a Bantam Legan 66F. 66 probably stands for 66 millimeters, which is the length of it. Now I have the Shimano World Pop, and it's one of my favorite poppers, if not my favorite. It has something called Flash Boost in there, and this has that too. As soon as I get the bait out of the box, we'll show you what that's all about. So, see that little mirror in there shaking? When I don't even have to move the lure, and that's quivering in there. It's like it's a little foil, a piece of foil that's on 2 springs inside the bait, and so that's constantly moving as the bait sits still. So this is something that the World Pop, it really is a good bait because of that. I caught a lot of fish on the World Pop. This is like a finesse version of a popper here. This I can see me using this on bait finesse gear. Looking forward to fishing that. And let me read what it says here on the box. It says the Legan 66 is a pencil popper capable of 3 different actions: dog walking, popping, and diving action. While each technique is effective, the Legan 66 performs extremely well utilizing the diving action. When the rod tip is lowered and the rod is jerked three times, the popper dives and moves side to side in the water. Often bites happen as the lure surfaces from this dive. Of course, while surfacing or pausing, the shimmer of the flash boost will continue to attract fish, eliciting aggressive strikes. So I bought 2. I bought 2 of the same color. They had some colors there that I wasn't crazy about, but this color I thought was a pretty good color, and it just has a natural look to it with an orange face. So I look forward to fishing this. Like I said, on the bait finesse stuff, I think this could be good when the fish are in a negative mood and you still want to elicit that topwater strike. This thing should do good. And I'm curious about how well it fishes as a diving bait under the water. Let me know if you have an interest in that. When the things calm down and the water gets warmer, I can test this out and show it to you and show you how it looks. Okay, now down to the last 2, and the last one is really something else. So I have an interest in glide baits, and I like these big glide baits. I like fishing that way. And for those of you who've never thrown a big glide bait or have any experience with them, they are really something else. And now people are catching on to this, and more people are doing it. And there's more and more glide baits at all different price points becoming available. And so, a 6, 7, 8, 9-inch glide bait, it's amazing how they draw fish. They catch fish, but I think the real strength is how well they draw fish. Like, let's say you're in a situation where you're fishing boat docks. Well, you throw this thing out along next to the boat dock and let it go under, and then you reel it back. And if there's fish under there and they're curious, they come following. Sometimes they'll eat it, but oftentimes they'll just follow it. But that tells you what docks have the fish in it. And so this is one of the ways to fish these big glide baits, and they just catch big fish, and they capture the curiosity of the fish so that they can help you find them. And it's amazing how consistent that's been working. Now, eventually, I think the more these are thrown, the more fish will get a little bit more conditioned to them. But right now, it's amazing how well they work. And so I have an interest now, because when everybody is zigging, I like to start zagging. So I started looking into some of the smaller glide baits, the smaller size ones, to see if I can find baits that have that great glide to them. And they kind of work like an S in the water, but at a smaller size, because that's what ends up happening. When you go smaller, the glide gets tighter and not quite as good. And so, looking for the right glide bait, I found this one. This one is called the Ima, or Ima. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's Japanese, probably Ima Glide Fluke. And I'll read this to you. Designed by professional angler and fisheries biologist Michael Murphy, the Ima Glide Fluke is a 2-segmented bait that offers a new twist in the hard bait category. The Glide Fluke can walk, glide, and swim. There's a floating version of this too that you can use as a wake bait, but this is a sinking model. And I did test this bait. If you're interested in seeing that test, let me know, and I'll make a video on this bait in the future. I can show you to you how it works. It works good. I think I spent $20 on this, and I found what I'm going to show you after this. And if I would have found that first, I probably wouldn't have bought this. But I did buy it, and I did test it, and I'm going to catch fish on it. And the main reason is because of that flash. It's got really good flash on it, and when you jerk this one, it really dances and works wildly. So this has a place for me in the future. But what I'm going to show you next, when I saw it, I knew I had to have it. And that is this bait right here. Take a look at the natural look on this thing. It's not very big. It's about the size of the bait fish that are in a lot of the systems I fish, the alewives. And it came in a package. This is the package that it came in. It just says VB, made to outlast. But because I like the paint job so much, I asked the man for his card, and I just happened to be talking to Vince, who is the president of this company, VinnerBaits.com. I haven't looked at their website yet, but I will be. And I'm going to be buying more of these. Now, this was $15. It wasn't cheap, but it was the best $15 that I spent in the show yesterday. I said, when I saw this bait and the paint job and the color of it, I said to Vince, if this fish is half as good as it looks, I'm going to catch fish on it. And he told me that it fishes very well. So I thought, I'm going to find out. So I tested it out, and we'll show you how it looks in the water right now. Ooh, wow. Is that real looking or what? All right, so what do I like about this bait? Well, it looks alive in the water. The paint job is fantastic. One thing that happens now and then is sometimes the tail hook will catch onto the tail. It doesn't even matter when that happens. It still works the same. The bait still has the same great glide. If that ever became an issue, I could see myself just removing that hook because it's a small enough bait. The fish I'm fishing for, they're gonna go for the head of the bait anyway. But I'll probably just keep it on there. I don't think it's gonna cause any harm. If it starts hanging up and I'm losing fish because of it, I'll make a change. But I'm gonna catch fish on this bait. It just looks so natural in the water. It's just amazing. And the other thing about it is it's very well balanced. So when it falls perfectly horizontal like this. I think that's the real key to this bait. The two things. It's narrow across the back, which I like that about the top dollar. This is narrow across the back as well. And it's very balanced. It falls horizontally like this. And you could actually take this bait, and you'll see this as I'm talking about it, and fish it under the boat. I think you can catch fish just vertically jigging this bait. It looks alive down there. It'll sit in the water like this, even though it's tied on the front, underwater, and then you can just lift it up and let it fall, or shake your rod tip, and it looks alive down there. I wouldn't be surprised. It might be a challenge for me sometime is to see if I can catch fish by vertically fishing this thing. But the real action is when you start to reel this thing in, as you already saw. It has a really nice glide to it for the size of the bait. For being a small bait, it glides very nicely. You can stop and go, and it'll turn to the side and just show the fish its side. It just looks like it's hurt. Now, you should also know that I was testing this in a shallow pool in a river, and it was just this morning. The water temperature, there's ice out there all around, ice at my feet, ice right where the boat launch is. That water is it's just above freezing, and that means the water is very dense. Usually when the water is that cold, baits don't have as good of action as when water's warmer. This thing had that kind of action that you saw in that super cold water. It can only be better as the water gets warmer. So I'm gonna be having fun with this bait. I can't wait to throw it around at the different lakes that I fish. And I hope to make you a future video showing just what this bait can do, because if it doesn't catch fish, I'll be amazed. I just think it's going to work and catch them based on what I saw when I was playing with it in the water. What do you think of the bait? Let me know. I'm going to be ordering 2 more as soon as I'm done with this video. That's how much I like it. So that's it for this edition of Fish Den 365. Hope you liked the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you haven't done so, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if you're watching my videos and you're liking the content. Please subscribe if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. And until next time, be safe out there. And as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.